Greetings everyone, my name is Raziel and today I once again have some reveals for the newest faction to join Warhammer 40k Warpforge. This time the Imperium is getting reinforcements in no other than the zealous Adepta Sororitas. So without any further ado, let's see what these fierce female warriors will bring to the game. First of all, we have Devote Warriors, a 1 energy stratagem with the effect to draw a troop from your deck and then draw another troop if you have accumulated 3 stacks of Faith. In case you missed the previous reveals, Faith is the Adepta Sororitas' secondary resource similar to the Elder Spirit Stones. However, Faith is not consumed and therefore every stack of Faith earned is most likely going to be permanent, unless there is a specific card that removes Faith, of course. Back to the card at hand, I think that Devote Warriors is a pretty solid card, especially for a common. 1 energy cycle is nearly always playable, and the fact that it can even be a 1 energy draw 2 with enough Faith is pretty nice as well. Overall, definitely worth keeping an eye on for your deck. Next up, we have the Inspiring Oratory, which is a 2 energy stratagem with the effect to give Vanguard and Shield to a friendly troop. I think this card will be very good, given that the Adepta Sororitas have another trait, or rather an ability, called Prey, which can generate Faith if the unit doesn't take damage during the opponent's turn. And the Inspiring Oratory can be a big help to ensure that multiple praying units do not take damage from attacks for a turn or more, depending on the enemy board. It would force the opponent to waste energy and possibly even stratagems to simply stop your units from gaining Faith, which is pretty nice in my opinion. So this is yet another pretty good common for the Adepta Sororitas. Following the Oratory, we have the Dialogus, who is a 4 energy infantry with 3 melee, 2 ranged and 5 HP, as well as the aforementioned Prey ability to give Vanguard to a friendly troop. Decent HP for a 4 energy troop, no doubt, slightly underwhelming attack stats, but a very solid Prey ability. Essentially, the Dialogus alone will be able to hide behind Vanguard after Vanguard after Vanguard should the enemy fail to remove him fast enough, and therefore generate 1 Faith stack after another and potentially enable other units to finish their prayer as well. It does feel a little slow, but for a 4 energy troop I think that can be excused, especially when considering the amount of potential this card has as a supportive troop. Now, did you notice me saying other units finish their prayer, not just other troops? That is because my final reveal for today is the rare warlord of the Adepta Sororitas, Erica Luminous. She is a 2 melee, 2 ranged, 35 HP warlord with the Fury of the Righteous talent, as well as a Prey ability of her own to give +1 HP to a friendly unit. And this Prey ability alone is pretty damn good. Giving HP to units for free, only sacrificing the ability to attack, but most importantly not sacrificing any point of energy, has always been pretty strong. She can definitely push certain troops over the edge by allowing them to now crucially survive an attack that would have otherwise been just enough to kill it, which can be a big problem for the opponent if they now cannot remove your Vanguards, for example, allowing you to gain Faith. So Erica alone is already pretty good in my opinion, and we haven't even taken a look at her talent yet. And her talent, Fury of the Righteous, is a 2 energy talent with the effect to deal 1 damage, and if you have accumulated 4 stacks of Faith, it deals 2 additional points of damage. I think this talent perfectly encapsulates the Adepta Sororitas game plan. It starts out pretty bad. 2 energy for just 1 damage is not good value. Looking at you, first demo version of Warrior Ventress. But if you can get the required stacks of Faith, you are suddenly dealing 3 damage for 2 energy, which is pretty strong. And on top of that, this 3 damage particularly ignores shields, since the shield will just absorb the initial 1 damage and then the 2 damage will hit the unit's HP. I can also see this talent, even in its base form, be pretty good against other Adepta Sororitas players, given you got a consistent way of stopping praying units from giving the opponent Faith stacks. So while the initial version of the talent is pretty underwhelming, it does have some appliances and can grow to be a very strong and not to be underestimated tool over the course of battle. And that's it for me. Let's do a short recap of the reveals. First, I showed you a pretty decent cycle tool that can also grow to be an actual value generator later on in the game with enough Faith accumulated. Then we saw a pretty great tool to protect praying units from enemy attacks, followed by a pretty strong, albeit slow, support infantry that can also help you protect you and your troops from enemy attacks. Finally, I showed you the rare warlord of the Adepta Sororitas and her talent, which both seemed very solid at least. I hope you all enjoyed my reveals. What are your thoughts on the Adepta Sororitas initially? Are you perhaps a fan of their lore, or do you simply like what you're seeing in regarding their playstyle in-game? Let me know in the comments. I'll hopefully see you all again in the next video. Have a nice day everyone, and I'll see you all next time.